Nintentye Podcast.
Hello, Nintendo fans. I'm Tye, and I'm here with my husband, Andrew.
Hi, everyone.
And we're here to host the very first episode of the Nintentye Podcast. You may be asking, what's that, and who are we? So we're going to start off with some explanations and introductions here. Basically, through Nintentye, I want to make passion-fueled, positive-focused Nintendo-related content. And we figured it'd be a good idea to start out with a podcast. So this is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. I've been wanting to put out content like this for quite a while, and a lot of people who know me have been telling me that I should be doing something like this. A lot of friends have said that my enthusiasm for Nintendo is infectious, so they've been really wanting to see something like this from me. So yeah, I'm really excited for us to start sharing our passion for Nintendo with others. We really want to focus on positivity and enthusiasm here, because there's no shortage of negativity and jadedness in the video game community and among gamers, so we really want to do something different and just really embrace the fun that is video games. Because after all, video games are supposed to be fun, so that's what we want to focus on, and we want to try to make our content authentic and relaxed and casual, but we want to make sure that any information and news that we share is also presented professionally and factually. And of course, since this is a Nintendo podcast, everything's going to be Nintendo oriented, so we're going to cover everything from the Nintendo Switch, Nintendo 3DS, Amiibo, and everything else, including past Nintendo games and systems, and various third-party games on Nintendo systems as well. So basically, Nintentye is all about passion, positivity, and Nintendo. Okay, so that's the what, but what about the who? Who are we, and more importantly, why do we love Nintendo? Well, as I'm sure you can tell, we're both huge Nintendo enthusiasts, and Nintendo has influenced our lives in many ways. So I want to talk a little bit about that first. Talk about our experiences with Nintendo and how it's affected our lives, and what Nintendo means to us. So let's start with you, Andrew. What are some of your strongest experiences with Nintendo, and how has it influenced your life?
Well, I've been playing Nintendo games all my life, and I really love all the characters and worlds and really cool, unique concepts that Nintendo always provides. And Nintendo has all my favorite franchises as well. There's Pokemon, Mario, Kirby, and of course Animal Crossing.
Yeah, Animal Crossing in particular is something that's very near and dear to both of us, because we actually met on Animal Crossing. We both met on Animal Crossing Wild World for the Nintendo DS, so a Nintendo game literally brought us together, and obviously that has influenced a ton in both of our lives. So yeah, that was back in February of 2006, right?
Right, that was more than 10 years ago now.
Jeez.
And it was just crazy how we met. Like, I had met, I think, your sister in someone else's town playing online, and she came to my town later, and then I think you saw my town on her screen and wanted to come to see the gold roses I had.
Yes, your town was beautiful, you had gold roses all over, so really you could say it was your expert gardening skills that attracted me to your town, and of course you, in the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, we started talking, and we both became best friends really fast, talking pretty much every day, right?
Right, yeah, we talked so much through Animal Crossing that our DSs have marks where the keyboard in Animal Crossing was.
Yes, we talked so much that we wore out our screens. Yeah, it was crazy. Of course, years later, we actually met, and we've been together ever since. So I'm actually from Pennsylvania. I flew out to Arizona to be with you, and yeah, that's kind of the start of our shared history together there. Of course, there's a lot more to the story, and it's a lot more complex than that, but, long story short, that's how we met. So yeah, in that regard, Nintendo has been huge to both of our lives, and to answer my part as well, first of all, like you, I've been playing Nintendo games most of my life as well, starting out with the NES when I was little, and, gradually, I think we both really started to get into games a lot more during the GameCube era, and that was also when Nintendo games started to mean a lot more to me too. I didn't have a particularly great childhood growing up. I was picked on and bullied a lot in high school, so one of the things that really kept me going was my Nintendo games. I didn't have a whole lot of friends, but I could always count on coming home to my Nintendo games, and they'd never fail to put a smile on my face. So really, I owe a lot to Nintendo. I struggled with depression and anxiety, and that's a common issue for both of us, and something that we still deal with even today. But back then, Nintendo games really helped me a lot in that regard. And honestly, if it weren't for those Nintendo games, I'm not sure how well I would have made it through things, or even at all. So yeah, I really owe a lot to Nintendo games, and they've really influenced a ton about my life and my personality and everything, really. And of course, Nintendo brought you and I together, so that's great. And ever since being together, Nintendo's still been a huge part of our lives. Not too long after I came out here, around when the 3DS launched, I ran a Nintendo 3DS meetup group with another friend of ours called Street Pass Arizona. So some local people probably recognize me from that. That was great. Running a Nintendo group and organizing events and all was a lot of fun, and we met a ton of great friends through that. And of course, Andrew was here helping me through that every step of the way. Some people may also recognize me from Mequality, which was a positive social media campaign I started regarding Tomodachi life, so that was huge and kind of went viral. But yeah, Nintendo's been a huge part of our lives and continues to be so. So there's a lot of reasons, obviously, why we both love Nintendo. And it comes down to the fact that Nintendo has shaped our lives in so many ways, and that Nintendo games never really fail to put a smile on our faces. So that's a little bit about us and why we love Nintendo. Let's hop into the news now. We're recording this as of October 19th, 2017, which also happens to be my birthday. Woo!
Happy birthday.
Thank you. And there's one piece of news that I know both of us, but you in particular, Andrew, have been really excited about. It just dropped last night, and that would be the Nintendo Switch 4.0 update.
Yeah, and that adds the video capture feature to the Switch, which is something I've been super excited about since before the Switch launched. It's really awesome. You can record last 30 seconds of your gameplay and edit the clips and upload them to social media. At the moment, it's just limited to 4 titles, which are Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, ARMS, Splatoon 2, and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which are all awesome games that you're definitely going to want a feature like that for. They all have crazy, hilarious, or really cool moments that are just great to re-experience again.
Yeah, I wish I wish we had this feature when we were playing Breath of the Wild for the first time, because there's so many situations that I would have wanted to record, but hey, that gives us more reason to go back into Master Mode and the upcoming DLC and record all that, so that's going to be great. And of course, hopefully they're going to expand it to more games. I'm sure that it's going to expand to other Nintendo titles, like at least, Snipper Clips for sure, and other third-party games as well.
Yeah, Snipper Clips is another title that'd be great for that. And also in the update, they included some new Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey icons, and also the ability to transfer your user account with its save data over to a new Switch, which is something that'll probably be really great for families who only had one Switch but want to purchase another for another child, or couples who only had one Switch but would like to have their own.
Yeah, we know quite a few people who are sharing a single Switch that they're probably going to want their own down the line, so this is great for that. Also, I want to touch on something with the icons really quick. So, of the icons that were introduced, there were 12 of them, 6 Super Mario Odyssey ones and 6 Breath of the Wild ones. The Odyssey ones were, I believe, you had Mario and Cappy, and then one with just Cappy, and then a few others with enemies that Mario has captured. But it's the Breath of the Wild ones that are really interesting, because they added the 4 champions, Daruk, Urbosa, Mipha, and Rivali, a Bokoblin, and most interestingly, Cass. And I find this interesting just because the art that they use for his icon is official art in the style of all the other characters so far, and this is art that we haven't seen before. So I'm just going to make a prediction and put it out here now. I believe there's going to be a Cass amiibo coming in the future. If you look at the product codes of the amiibo, there's actually a gap in between the listings for the Zelda Breath of the Wild amiibo and Daruk, I believe. So basically there's room for one more Breath of the Wild amiibo that will presumably be released sometime in the future. And so far, all of the characters that got amiibo from Breath of the Wild have official art. And the fact that Cass now has official art and is also included as an icon at that leads me to believe that we might be seeing Cass amiibo in the future. So I could be totally wrong, but I want to put that out there just in case. And I imagine that might make a lot of Cass fans happy out there. and I know that cast is very popular as well, so that'll be really cool if that happens.
Yeah, that would be awesome to get a Cass amiibo. A couple other things the update adds are the ability to pre-purchase titles on the eShop, some news channel updates, and local software updates.
Yeah, so like if you're outside, away from a Wi-Fi connection, and you want to play with a group of friends, and they don't have the current version of the game you're playing, you can send out the update locally to them, so you'll be able to play. So that's a cool feature. Some other updates that just recently came out are the ARMS version 3.2 update. That adds badges, which is a great new way to make money in the game as well. A recent replays feature, so you can go back and see replays of the last few matches that you've played. And a new character, Springtron. Well, not playable, at least not at the moment, but he's a new challenger that will appear if you do exceptionally well in Grand Prix. I believe you have to play Grand Prix at level 4 or higher, and I think you have to not lose any matches up until the semifinals. And we haven't even actually played the game since the update, so I haven't tried it out yet, but I'm super excited to hop into it. ARMS is great, and this looks like a pretty great update. In addition to that, the Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle Ultra Challenge Pack came out. That's the first DLC pack for the game. I haven't played it yet because, well, I'm still playing through the story mode. I'm at the last area, so hopefully I'll beat that soon. But it looks great, so that's cool. And we've got an upcoming release, tomorrow actually, Fire Emblem Warriors. So that's exciting. That's coming out for Nintendo Switch and new Nintendo 3DS. So we'll probably talk more about that in a future episode once we've played it. And of course, the week after that, Super Mario Odyssey comes out October 27th. We're all super hyped for that, right?
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. That's going to be another title that's pretty much ubiquitous on Switch, like Breath of the Wild. I'm sure everyone is going to be playing that. And with the amount of moons in the game, it's going to be a pretty good challenge, it sounds like.
Yeah, I'm so excited. We both got to try out the demo at the Nintendo World Championships qualifiers, and yeah, I'm super excited to get my hands on the full game. So not too long now. And of course, aside from that, we've got a good number of other games coming out in the next couple months, which we'll also cover in the future. But we've got Sonic Forces, Mario Party The Top 100, Snipper Clips Plus, Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and Xenoblade Chronicles 2, among others. So yeah, there's a lot of exciting stuff coming out, and certainly no shortage of games to play. So let's talk a little bit about what we've been playing currently now. Andrew, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot of Picross S. It was kind of a surprise when it came out, and I was super excited to get a hold of it. I've beat all of the Picross puzzles, and right now I'm working on the Mega Picross puzzles. I'm on the second to last page now of that. And I've also been playing a ton of Splatoon 2 as well. I actually just got to level 50 in Splatoon.
Yeah, you're a little bit ahead of me in level in Splatoon, but I just got to S rank on all of the ranked modes, so beating you there at least. But yeah, we've both been playing a lot of Splatoon lately. Of course, there was the Werewolves versus Vampires Splatfest that just happened.
Yeah, and we were Team Werewolf and didn't fare so well, unfortunately.
No, Team Werewolf lost pretty badly there. But yeah, and like you, I've also been playing a lot of Picross S. The Picross games are amazing. We both got our start on Picross 3D on Nintendo DS, and that hooked us. Of course, Picross 3D is quite a different beast from 2D Picross, but they're both fantastic. So it's great to have Picross on Switch now, and with local multiplayer as well. We actually haven't even played the co-op mode yet, though, so I can't really speak of how that is, but yeah, that's something that we've both been spending a good amount of time with.
And you've been playing something on Nintendo 3DS as well, haven't you?
Yes, I've been playing something that you've been wanting me to play for a very long time. I started Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions. I have not played the original. I started it on Wii U Virtual Console, but I didn't get very far and got busy with other games. So finally giving it another shot with the remake here. And yeah, it's pretty great. I've not really played many of the other Mario & Luigi games, really any of them. I started Dream Team, I believe, but didn't get too far. I tend to have a hard time getting into RPGs. I have nothing against RPGs. It's just hard for me to get into them, especially when they're time-consuming and there's so many other games to play. So at the moment, I'm kind of in the middle of quite a few RPGs on the 3DS, actually. I started Mario & Luigi. I'm most of the way through the game, I believe. I'm also sitting on Miitopia. I'm somewhere in the middle of that game, which I love Miitopia, by the way. Getting to populate an RPG with me's of your friends is awesome and hilarious. I'm also playing Yokai Watch 2 Psychic Spectres. I transferred my save data over from Bony Spirits, so picking up where I left off there. Still haven't got very far, though. Again, I've kind of been juggling around different games on my 3DS. My Switch gets most of my attention right now, unfortunately for my 3DS games, because there's still a lot of great games for 3DS, and there's more coming out even, so we'll be going back to it soon with Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon next month as well. Let's see, what else? Have I been playing anything else? Oh yeah, I guess I have been playing some more Mario plus Rabbids, little by little here and there. And I guess some Pokken Tournament DX, that came out not too long ago, so I've been practicing my Lucario. And of course, tomorrow I'll be playing some Fire Emblem Warriors. So that's what we've been playing, but now I want to talk about some games that we've played in the past. Specifically, games that released this week in past years. So both of us have picked a game that released this week in previous years that we've played and want to talk about. So, Andrew, let's go first. What's your choice?
My choice is Kirby's Epic Yarn, which released 7 years ago, back in 2010. It was a really awesome game. That Goodfield did an awesome job getting everything so fabric and yarn oriented, and the puzzles and everything in that game were awesome. And it's actually a game we both played together with co-op. So one of us played Prince Fluff and the other Kirby, and it was just an awesome game all around. The visuals were great, the music was awesome, and it was just all around a great game.
Yeah, Kirby's Epic Yarn was awesome. I remember we were so hyped when that game was revealed at E3. That E3 in general, I remember being really strong. I think Donkey Kong Country Returns was also announced then, and a number of other games. But that was a really exciting time. We were really excited leading up to that game, especially because it was the first console Kirby game in a long, long time.
Yeah, I think first one since Kirby Air Ride, right?
Yeah, which is a fantastic game. We love Kirby Air Ride, but many wouldn't even count that because it's not a traditional platformer, Kirby platformer game. So, yeah, Epic Yarn was really exciting. I love that the game's challenge wasn't in completing the levels. You couldn't really die in the game, so getting to the end of the level wasn't hard, but the challenge was in collecting enough beads to get the gold or platinum medals. So that was really fun, and of course, playing in co-op made it even better. And yeah, Goodfeel knows how to make really charming games. Coincidentally, a similar Goodfeel game released on October 16th, 2 years ago in 2015, and that's Yoshi's Woolly World. So we actually haven't even beat it. We started playing through it in co-op, but we need to go back and finish it sometime, so we'll do that sometime. Maybe we'll talk about that more then, but yeah, just as a interesting aside there, my choice, though, is Wii Music, which released in 2008, 9 years ago. Now, this is, Wii Music's kind of a controversial game. A lot of people did not really care for it. It didn't have the greatest reveal at E3 either, but I really like the game, and I think it gets a lot more hate than it deserves. I think people expect the wrong thing out of the game. What I really love about Wii Music is how it let anyone perform music. I know it wasn't really very involved, and the music selection was kind of disappointing. The game consisted mostly of public domain songs with a few Nintendo games, and that's really where the game shined for me. I really loved playing alongside the F-Zero or Legend of Zelda music in the game, and that was a lot of fun to arrange it in different instruments and play along. And I know it's not quite up to par with other rhythm games like Guitar Hero or Rock Band in terms of complexity and all that, but that's kind of the point with Wii Music. It lets anyone be able to enjoy performing music in a way without having any kind of extensive knowledge of music or any kind of crazy reflexes. I personally love rhythm games like Elite Beat Agents or Rhythm Heaven, but when it comes to, those instrument-based games like Guitar Hero or Rock Band, or even, for a Nintendo example, Jam with the Band, Band Brothers, I am terrible at that. I'm just terrible at playing specific notes of music. music's something that I really appreciate, even though I just know so little about it. I'm not musically talented at all, but I really wish I was, and I wish I could play music. And Wii Music was able to, in a way, let me experience that. And I think it's a shame that we never got a follow-up, because I think the concept is great, and it could be improved so much. But because of its negative reception, I'm not so sure that's going to happen, unfortunately. But that's something I'd really love to see. So yeah, that's our show. And of course, this is the first podcast we've ever done, so we're still trying to get the hang of this. The format's going to evolve as we go on, so bear with us and all. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, and feel free to give us any feedback. You can expect more features in the future, and we plan to have some guests on as well. We'll have some of our friends on here, so hopefully things get a lot more interesting. Of course, this episode was mostly just an introduction. But yeah, hopefully we'll be doing this somewhere between weekly and monthly, so if you want to keep up to date, just make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube at Nintentye. We also plan to stream games in the future on our Twitch account as well, so check that out if you want. So yeah, thanks for listening, and we'll see you in episode 2.
Thanks, everyone.